Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hadiman bin Abdul Hadi, and I'm here today to present based on question 1 and to answer the requirement laid out in question 2 with regard to XYZ College and its strategic facility planning. Today's topic of presentation will be based on the following assumption. XYZ College was incorporated on 1st of April 2015 with a registered address at Unit 210 Bangunan EBC Jalan Abdul Rahman, Kuala Lumpur. The newly built campus address is at Lot 140 Persiaran Indah, Section 13, Shah Alam. XYZ College currently has 130 students with an age demographic between 28 to 50 years of age. At current, staff strength is at 20 with an academic staff of 8, while the remaining 12 staff caters for administrative staff. The college has a built-up area of 15,000 square feet with a net floor area of about 10,000 square feet. Let us go through with regard to XYZ College mission, vision and goal. Mission of the college is to empower and nurture the leader through experiential learning that equips its graduates to visualize and achieve excellence in a dynamic global community. Why the mission was made such in a way? Because we believe that the students are working adults and the experience gains from the work can be shared and applied to exponentially. We will also want to create leaders that is empowered and can bring impact to their current workplace. With regard to vision, we want to be seen as an institution unique from others. Our focus on leaders and emphasis is for students who can graduate and remain visible in the job hierarchy. With regard to the goal, we are here to support the current working employee to achieve a better hierarchy status. Why? Because we believe most students who are part-timers are seeking for better career advancement. It is shown that with increased work knowledge, they themselves can make better and informed decision making. With a structured leadership thinking, we believe that the students that the college produce can make an impact to the industry. In understanding what is strategic facility planning, with regard to this presentation, let us go through what is meant by it as mentioned in International Facility Management Association IFMA in 2009. Strategic Facility Planning, or SFP, is a process in which a facility management organization envisions its future by linking its purpose to the strategy of the overall organization and then developing the goals. I would also like to quote as has been mentioned in most quote is that if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. It is also imperative that forward planning is centered on the organization needs and taken into account seriously prior to the planning. Critical success factors and measuring pain points are vital to craft a moving forward plan and ensure continuity. The whole process is a cycle that involves a vertical and horizontal validation with strategic, tactical, and operation in mind. This explains what SFP is misunderstood. Facility planning caters tackling day-to-day operation and problem solving related to specific tasks given in a duration of time, while facility management is an action of coordinating physical workplace with people and work involved. It also encompasses multiple disciplines to ensure functionality of built environment by integrating people, process, place, and technology. And how do we relate to SFP? We believe that SFP can translate goal of business plan into appropriate facility response, as what has been mentioned in facility planning and facility management. I would also like to stress that SFP is a decision support tool. Why? Because it focuses on core business priorities. When we talk about service action, it caters to review structure in line with target operating model. As we are operating a college, our service action plan should be catered to how can we serve our students in a learning environment to cater their requirement. With regard to the person or officer responsible, we believe that FM managers, business managers, as well as contract managers are responsible for all in deciding the business priorities. Milestones, I believe, should be benchmarked against best practices. Financial requirement should also be taken into account to ensure there is a bankable business to be run in. This also acts as a revenue monitoring system for the college to operate. Last but not least, I believe that there is some performance measurement should be in place to monitor all the SLAs and also the key performing index that can be actually achieved and monitored throughout operating the college. Year-to-year audit should be conducted to ensure that all the SOPs and also the mandated rules are well taken care of. Let us now go into the cyclical SFP process. It focuses on 4 main pillars, which are understand, analyze, plan, and last but not least, implement. If you look at the process, it's a cyclical process, and the whole cycle process goes end to end. With regard to understand, we need to understand the longer term or big picture needs and vision of the organization. I believe comprehending the organization's specific needs would actually help us to better understand and design the SFP process. Secondly, we would want to perform a gap analysis of the current situation, college, versus what we want to be. We should also be to look out into the financial assessment to see whether the yield with the anticipated returns are actually agreed upon. The common tools used for analysis are one of many: scenario planning, systematic layout planning, SWOT analysis, brainstorming, strategic creative analysis, benchmarking, and organizational simulation. The third SFP process is to plan, where we document the address gap found in analysis. We want to evaluate cost, labor, competition, and all factors critical for success. We will also want to develop recommendation and priorities based on the gap found. Last but not least is taking action and to develop alternatives with recommendation and priorities for decision making. I would suggest with regard to the proposed presentation today, there be a quick win with regard following up by a mid or long-term decision making. Let us now go into the first pillar of the SFP process, which is to understand the business model of XYZ College. Having said that, let us go also with regard to their mission, vision and goal. The setting of the college is based on creating leaders. And we will want to actually to create leaders who are mentally and physically tough and to remain energetic in executing their tasks. They are also attracted to institutional history so that they can relate to what they have actually learned in the past. This is one of the many essence that we want to actually to understand prior to setting up our SFP. We will also like to stress that leaders feel connected to the local, state, national, internal organization and international streams. That's why our goal is actually for leaders to have an influence to the society. All those traits of leaders such as honesty, integrity, confidence, inspiring others, commitment and passion, being a good communicator, being decisive in decision making, able to delegate, being creative and transparent and has vision and purpose could create leaders who has an impact to the society. Let us now go into the analyzing facilities of XYZ College. I'll be basing my recommendation today based on SWOT analysis. Firstly, I'll be focusing on the facilities offered by XYZ College. Strengths are the college is an established college with part-time students. It has a newly built campus and catered around transit-oriented development. What is meant by transit-oriented development? The college is built around a LRT which is serve access to the college. Readily available public transportation such as bus, taxis or even e-hailing services are available around for part-time students to access to the college. The location, which is centered in Shah Alam, I believe is easily accessed and is not congested during working hours. The weakness I found with regard to the facilities, as the customer demographic are for part-time students, we believe that the college itself is a boutique college. With regard to opportunities, I believe there is some automation that can be done with regard to the college, and outsourcing of business could actually reduce the financial stress that the college may experience while operating on its rented premises in Kuala Lumpur. The threat that the college can have at current moment is with regard to compliance. This can be related to the current requirement made by Ministry of Education in having a strict requirement laid out also in completing the certain requirement to achieve the standards as per the courses offered. With regard competition, there are 3 colleges nearby but offering different courses and type of students. I believe at current moment the XYZ College is only serving for part-time students, and this could actually be a strength to them as well. With regard to positioning of the age demographics at current, since we know that part-time students are working adults, so this could be a threat to those new working adults who might not have the financial muscle to join the college. With regard to admin help, we believe that the current workforce has experienced and well-trained staff and has good revenue management in running their college at their old premises. However, we believe that the traditional way of handling student attendance, registration, deregistration, as well as adding courses are not up to the current standards as required. Bare necessities facilities that they have may impede their working ways and also create redundancy. With regard to opportunities, I believe introduction of automation in the new college will actually help the experienced and well-trained staff to minimize error and also to increase performance and create time saving. With regard to threats, we believe that with experienced and well-trained staff, other colleges may staff pinch in order to expedite their operation and revenue model. We believe at current the library operating at the old rented premises has complete index and also existence of consistent record keeping. While all these are traditionally kept, the library are underserved. Why? Because these are all part-time students and their availability of time is only catered during after office hour. We believe that opportunities are available for automation again to cater for the demand of part-time students. The use of library might be a threat. Why? Because the traditional way of accessing book has actually been drawn down by the new way of researching via the use of electronic World Wide Web. With regard to the refreshment, ideally with the new built campus, there are spaces available for cafes to operate. There be available wide choice of available refreshments for students to cater. However, There are some weaknesses that we might find in operating the cafes in the college, where pricing will be an issue since the cafes are running at odd operating hours. Why? Because most of the students are only available after office hour, and the food preparation could only be done at a certain time limit. With regard to opportunity, we believe that operating through automation is an option, and the college could also explore on revenue sharing. With regard to threats, there might be some issue with regard to compliance to the local authority and food preparation. Positioning of the location of the refreshment sites will be an issue as well. Although we are suggesting probably up to 4 sites within the college itself to cater the number of students. Next is planning. Identification of hard and soft services should be firstly looked at. When we talk about hard service, this includes physical structures like heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and pumping system. A service cost structure is to be gathered and tabulated for cost planning and justification for manpower planning under the proposed plan preventive maintenance. The justification gathered should be competitively priced against industry standard of operating a campus with 130 occupants on site. When we talk about soft service, this involves cleaning and security, which involves management of people. Performance indicator based on the frequency of cleaning is to be set out to balance cost against cleanliness and justified to the number of students within the campus. Number of security personnel to enforce on a ratio of students is also to be proposed to be enforced on a safety learning environment. It is essential that both of the indicated service are made available to ensure occupant safety and well-being. We should also develop a scope of work to ensure what we have been identified above. It is imperative that the scope of work details out or outlining the system and works to be rendered, the key performance indicator to be achieved, industry benchmark to be compared against, detailed resources to be employed, as well as mode of reporting to be used for monitoring. This is further to be used to perform the evaluation through a request for proposal to be sent out. RFP is based on identification of the proposed project, which looks at the preliminary requirement. Preliminary requirement include background research and the identification of hard and soft service as mentioned earlier on. Criteria would include the scope of work, schedule, timeline, to ensure that all the required intended actions are taken into account. A technical versus commercial evaluation committee is to be developed to ensure assessment are done correctly. Finally, recommendation is to be done prior to award of the contract. Last but not least is implementation. This actually takes the who and where we would actually find the resource and executing the procurement itself. With regard to the maintenance operation, it's understood that based on the assumption that the campus is another big campus with defect liability period in place. However, we believe that to ensure continuity and going concern of XYZ College, the proposed FM contractor is actually to validate the as-built drawings to be handed over by the turnkey contractor. The proposed planned preventive maintenance shall be carried out as per agreed turnkey contractor and be reviewed prior to campus operation. We believe that the core work is essential for the transfer of knowledge to be executed for the required system currently operating at the college. We would recommend also for the FM team to execute due diligence based on the scope of work agreed with XYZ College. Once completed, a due diligence report shall be presented to the committee to finalize prior to the offer of contract to the FM contractor. With regard to budget control, a budget based on the agreed PPM is to be prepared by the FM contractor and to be in place to monitor XYZ College expenses on its maintenance. The budget against PPM costs shall be monitored on monthly basis to ensure that the agreed cost is executed and does not impair the generating value for future assets replacement program. Upon engagement and prior to expiry of the DLP, the contracted FM team is also to identify the asset life cycle of all the systems installed and constructed. Evaluation is detrimental for the FM contractors to make recommendation of assets of which are non-efficient or may have deteriorated due to wear and tear or even obsolete. The identification of worn and deteriorated asset must be accompanied with a justification report indicating its usage and efficiency. Should the asset proposed are found in good condition and could serve beyond its economic usability, a revision report on the PPM schedule is to be presented for further evaluation. I would like to now to go into the benefits of system innovations to be explored at XYZ College. I believe that the availability of dashboarding for system monitoring is essential for the FM contractors to be alert and to perform the necessary reporting for the management to view on the usability of the assets. The dashboarding could also entail the work has been done for the day and the amount of time spent to perform the necessary maintenance. We would also like to see some digital automation for planned preventive maintenance and reporting. This includes probably the build-up of a QR code system to monitor the history of the asset to be maintained. A monthly report should be presented to indicate the efficiency of the assets maintained. We will also see a full suite solution overarching all systems. This means a one system to look after all the system with interactive feedback and live reporting. We will also would like to see some green building objectives to be built within XYZ College with energy management solutions. We believe that the use of sensors, light sensors and also temperature sensors tuned to the number of people in a room could contribute to better energy saving for the college. With regard to system efficiencies, it is understood that the college is thinking to operate is actually wanting to operate in a newly developed campus. We would plan and actually propose that preventive plan maintenance starts from campus operation with FM contractor in place. This is to ensure that once the defect liability period ended, the FM contractors would know how and where and when to perform the necessary maintenance. Due diligence report are presented prior to defect liability period to ensure systems are operating at their maximum operating level. We will actually encourage enforcement of service level agreement and setting up of a non-conformance reporting to see whether efficiency in maintaining the asset is being executed. An annual health check on the assets to assess its usability, capacity, as well as obsolescence can be made to ensure that assets are maintained on regular basis. Last but not least is cost of the systems. We believe that the online lectures are of zero cost, as we can make use of available technologies on the web. This includes using Microsoft Teams, Zooms, which currently can handle small number of packs without any fee. The use of online forum may incur some capital expenditure with a proposed capex fee of RM250,000 with a monthly recurrent fee of RM1,000. The online revenue management systems to track online registration, deregistration, adding courses, fee and cost management, and also tracking late fee can be done on a capex of RM150,000 with monthly fee of RM250. This can be expedited and be bought on the shelf with minimal customization. Last but not least is the setting up of the online digital library. The capex for full suite purchase of online digital content with tracking on journals as well as research as well as an e-book would cost us RM100,000 with monthly fee of RM500. All in all, we would say the cost of the system would benefit our way of in supporting the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and introducing automation in how the XYZ College works. I will end my presentation. Thank you.